Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing Amie by Prairie League. This one was a request, and I love this song, but I hadn't thought about it in years. This is a pretty easy one that is really fun to play, and I will give you options to spice up the left-hand bass playing as well. Let's jump in. Alright, so first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description that'll help you follow along and see where the chords and the lyrics line up with one another. And this song is mostly in the key of A major, although there are a couple of chords, the G and the C chords, that step outside of that a bit. Let's start out with the intro. Here's the chords for that. A lot of measures of A at the beginning before the song fully kicks off here. It's gonna sound like this. And this is where there's that sort of acoustic guitar solo. So with my left hand first finger, I'm playing A here. This is middle C here, so you get the octave, and then in the right hand, I'm doing an inversion on an A major chord. So C sharp, E, and A here. I'm using my second finger. And this is a good time to just talk about the overall rhythmic feel for the song that we're gonna be needing to have internalized when we go through all the different chord changes. We're in 4/4 time, so each of these measures gets 4 counts, sort of a medium speed, 1, 2, 3, 4. But right off the bat, let's think in eighth notes, dividing the beats in half, thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm gonna hit my left hand on beat 1, and then on all the ands, all the upbeats, you can imagine your foot tapping when it goes up, that's where we're gonna hit the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So just spend a little time getting a feel for that. Another rhythm that we're gonna need that just builds on this is just back and forth hitting 1 and 2 and 3. So get a feel for that as well. So this intro would start out just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. For 6 measures, if you don't have a guitar player and that feels a little long, you could totally cut it short, maybe only do 4. But once you do those 6, then it's gonna sound like this. So those 2 measures where we've got A, G, D. So from here on out in the song, all the A's are actually gonna be a root position A. It was just for the intro that I had it inverted up. So that's A, C sharp, and E. And I'm moving my left hand down here to put my first finger on this low A. For the G, I'm gonna step down to my second finger for the G bass note. I'm doing an inversion here. B, D, and G using my second finger. And then for the D, it's gonna look like that. So 5th finger can play that D bass note, A, D, and F sharp. That makes for a really smooth transition back to the A. I also sometimes find myself for this D chord, since my 4th finger is already hovering on that F sharp, you can finger it that way as well. And the little dash after the A represents an extra count of A. So it lasts for 2 counts on A and then just 1 on G and D. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're gonna do the offbeat hits. We're gonna hit 1 and then just hold for 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then that just rolls right into the first verse. So let's check out that verse. Here's the chords for that. It's a lot of the same chords, those A's, G's, and D's. We're also going to need a C chord in that second line. Gonna come all the way down to C there with my 5th finger, and then G, C, and E. So it's just kind of stepping down that inversion shape we have for the D. We go back and forth there. And then there's also this E major. And I'm gonna do an inversion like this with a G sharp, B, and E like that. And throughout this verse, I'm going to be hitting the left hand on every count, so that more back and forth feel, and I'm gonna develop the bass a little bit more in a minute. But so this first bit would be, I can see why you think you belong to me, 2 and 3 and 4. I never tried to make you think or let you see one thing for yourself. So just hanging out on A for a full measure, for your D for a full measure. But now you're off with someone else. A full measure of C back up to D long. You see, I thought that I might keep you for my own. 3, 4, and then a second measure of E. 3, 4, which would be, of course, leading into the chorus. Now, before we do the chorus, I want to give you an option to do a little bit more of a bass line in the left hand. The general idea is, instead of only playing the root of the chord in the left hand, we're also going to play the fifths of the chord. So in the case of A, that would be E, and we're going to go back and forth. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you can just get a feel for that. That's going to be the vibe for most of the chords, except for the G and the D. When they're so fast, they're only for a beat, so you don't get the 1, 2. And then the other exception is for the A's in the verses. We're actually going to invert that, put the E down here, so it's going down a fourth instead of up a fifth, and that just works out really nicely with the fingers. I think you'll see what I mean. So that would be, I can see why. So for beat 1 and 2, do that A, E. And then for the G and D, like I mentioned, it's just like we did before. I can see why you think you belong to me. I never tried to make you think or let you see one thing for your... So we have a full measure of A there, so we can just go back and forth. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now for the D, this is going to be a pattern that we do more often, which is the down, up, and we're going to do that for the D, the C, and the E as well. So just bottom note, up a fifth. So for the D, it's the D and A. For the C, it's the C and G. And for the E, it's going to be E and B. Let's go from the last measure of the first line. Or let you see one thing for yourself. But now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. You see, I thought that I might keep you for my own. Okay, last thing with the bass line. This is totally optional, but whenever you're on E and you're going to go back to A, whether that's at the end of a verse or at the end of a chorus, you can step up in the key of A on F sharp, G sharp, back to A on beats 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your hands connect on that and. So I might be throwing that in sometimes. Okay, so let's do the chorus. Here's the chords for that. With the exception of the B minor, first minor chord we've had in this song. It's all chords that we've been doing. I'll start off with the simple version without the full bass line. So we've got the A to the G to the D, just like we've been doing. The pacing's a little different though. It's a full measure of A, and I'll just go back and forth like that. Amie. So this measure is G to D. 2. Now same thing again. I think I could stay with you for a... Okay, B minor from here is really easy. All we gotta do is take our first finger and move it up to the B. And I'm gonna go down to this low B bass note. While maybe longer if I do. So just a measure of each of those chords. If that super low B is not sounding good on your piano, you could totally go with the higher one as well. And let's add that bass line. It's just gonna be the same pattern, and unlike the verse, on the A's, I'm gonna do it the way that we were doing for all the other chords, where it's down, up, and up a fifth. Amie, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. 2, 3, 4, and you could totally do that if you want. Then we hit this instrumental, just looks like that. It's just 2 times through the... Just like we did at the end of the intro, and then we're in another verse. The second verse is just like the first one, it's just different lyrics. After that verse, we've got another chorus, just like the first one. Then we've got the instrumental / guitar solo section. It looks like this. So it's got 2 measures of exactly what we just did for the other instrumental section. And then Essentially what happens here is you start another verse, but without words, and hopefully you got a guitar player, or you can maybe whistle along or whatever you want to do there. But to be clear, as soon as you get to the second line, even though the chords and the measures look the same, you are once again adding the full left hand energy on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Then you just play it, like I said, just like any other verse. At the end of that solo, you're gonna just go straight into another chorus. You can do that walk up if you like. Amie, what you wanna do? Okay, between that third chorus and the third and final verse, there's another instrumental section. I just want to point out, this time it's just once. It's just... Now it's come to what you want, you've had your way. So that is the third verse. After that, we've got another chorus. So a lot of the song we've already learned. The only other thing to learn is the outro, which is quite a vibe shift. And here are the chords for that. It goes to this really fast guitar finger picking thing, which doesn't translate very well to piano. So I'm gonna just keep it nice and simple and gentle, but I'm gonna do quarter notes in the right hand. So a little bit of a different feel. We're gonna play on the actual downbeats now. It's gonna sound like this. I keep falling in and out of love with you. So it's similar to the pacing on the chorus of 1, 2, 3, 4 on the A, and then 2 on G, 2 on D. But we're gonna keep the A bass note the whole time. So it's got this kind of suspended feel for those other chords. With the A, we're gonna do an add to. So just with the second finger, you're gonna play a B on top of what you were already doing for the A major chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. Love with you. You could also do an add to on the D. That would be the E here. You. I think I hear that in the picking pattern. That's optional. Falling in and out of love with you. Yeah, I think that sounds nice. Don't know what I'm gonna do. I keep falling in and out of love. So this time it just goes straight to the D over A. Again, you can add that E in there if you want. Full measure of D over A. Of love with you. That's a surprising change. Going to F major 7. You can do an F bass note here, A, C, E in the right hand. With you, 2, 3, 4, E7. So E down here, G sharp, B, and D. There is a little bit of variation in the chord that the guitar does, where they go up and hit this F, which is flat 9 chord. So it's quite a dissonant sound, but if you want to throw that in, you could get to the E7 like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe just on beat 3 or something, and then ending on. I like to do the fifths here, so you can maybe kind of 1, and the tempo has really slowed down here. You can just kind of like drag out that final moment of the song. Let me just play that last line one more time because it's a little bit weird. I keep falling in and out of love with you. Something like that. And then the song is over. All right, thank you for sticking with me. I am now gonna do a full playthrough of everything so you can see how all these parts fit together. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the bell so you know when I put out more tutorial videos like this one. Okay, here is my version of Amie. See why you think you belong to me. I never tried to make you think or let you see one thing for yourself. But now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. thought that I might keep you for my own. Amie, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Don't you think the time is right for us to find all the things we thought weren't proper could be right in time? And can you see which way we should turn together or alone? I can never see what's right and what is wrong. Amie, what you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. What you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. Now it's come to what you want, you've had your way, and all the things you're fighting for just faded into gray. And can you see that I don't know if it's you or if it's me? If it's one of us, I'm sure we both will see. Amie, what you wanna do?